Hello everyone, I'm Tariq Siddiqui, a student of Mass Communication and Journalism. From last 2 days, we were discussing about a theory called Fordism. So I have explained about Fordism and post-Fordism and what happened in between those two eras. I think we should take few examples. So put your headphones on and let us begin. Let's take an example of Italy and Japan and how they dealt with post-Fordism. Right, I have told you about Fordism. How the US how the Fordism has started in US. So let's see how the post-Fordism affected in Italy and Japan. Okay, so one of the primary examples of specialized post-Fordist production. So one of the primary example of specialized post-Fordist production took place in region known as Third Italy. The first Italy included the area of large-scale mass production such as Turin, Milan, and Genoa, and second Italy described as undeveloped south. The third Italy, however, was where clustered of a small firm and workshop developed in the 1970s and 1980s in the central and northeast region of the country. Region of the third Italy included Tuscany, Umbria, Marche, Emilia-Romagna, Veneto, Friuli, and Trentino Alto. Each region specialized in a range of loosely related products, and each workshop usually had 5 to 50 workers and often less than 10. The range of products in each region reflected the post-Fordist shift to economies of scope. Additionally, these workshops were known for producing high-quality products and employing high-skilled, well-paid workers. The workshops were very design-oriented and multidisciplinary, involving collaboration between entrepreneurs, designers, engineers, and workers. So this has happened in Italy. Now let us take a look at what has happened in Japan. There were several post-World War II changes in production in Japan that caused post-Fordist condition to develop. Right. First, there were changes to company structure, including the replacement of independent trade union with pro-management company-based union, the development of a core of permanent male multi-skilled worker, and the development of a periphery of untrained temporary and part-time employees who were mostly females. Second, after World War II, Japan was somewhat isolated because of import barriers and foreign investment restrictions. As a result, Japan began to experiment with production techniques. Third, as imported technologies became more available, Japan began to replicate, absorb, and improve them, with many improvements deriving from the modification of local conditions. Fourth, Japan began to concentrate on the need to small batch production and quick changeover of products line to serve the demand for a wide range of products in a relatively small market. Because of the informal price fixing, competition was based not on the price but rather on the product differentiation. As a result, production became less standardized and more specialized, particularly across different companies. Fifth, Japan began to build long-term supply and subcontracting network, which contrasted with vertically integrated Fordist American corporation. Because small and medium manufacturers produced a wide range of products, there was need for affordable multi-purpose equipment as opposed to specialized costly production machinery in Fordist industries in the United States. Technology for flexible production was significant in Japan, particularly necessary for smaller producers. The smaller producers also found it necessary to reduce cost. As a result, Japan became one of the main user of robots and CNC. Over time, these 6 changes in production in Japan were institutionalized.